What's going on, y'all? This is your boy, your man, old school hip hop head, old school Triple H, man. Here with a album review. I know it's been a minute. I haven't really been doing many of the album reviews and stuff, so kind of wanted to get back on that a little bit, kind of jump into everything. How you feeling out there? So let's get it going with an album I didn't think was ever going to come out. I know Jay Electronica said he was going to release the album this year, but it slapped me in the face when it came out, man. I didn't even know this was coming out at all. I was just like, whatever, Jay Electronica, he talking stuff. He said he's going to release an album years ago, over a decade ago, and he ain't released nothing for a while. So, man, it's just a lot of stuff is happening in this new generation, man. 2020 now, we got a new Jay Electronic album. So it's crazy, man. So I want to kind of get into it. It's only so the album we're talking about here is, let's see, let's pull up the track list and everything. It's called A Written Testimony. Um, there's the album cover there. So yeah, reading a Wheat actual Jay Electronica review or album. So if you guys don't know, Jay Electronica, he's a hip hop artist that's held out of he's basically held out of New Orleans, Louisiana, my hometown, baby, Louisiana. So, he's from Louisiana. He signed on to Jay Z's Rock Nation. He's been on his label for a while now, man. He's been with the Rock for a minute, so I was kind of surprised to see he hadn't put out an album yet. Like he hadn't even released one album. He dropped a couple tracks, the Exhibit A, the Exhibit C's, and I was like, man, this dude is the truth. He can rap. I was like, I kept saying so too. I mean, I was like, man, I want to hear an album. I got to hear an album. Jay Electronica's got to drop an album. No album for years, even since he signed on the Rock Nation. So I was kind of curious as to how he was staying on Jay Z's label with no projects out for like a very long time. Like he's been on Jay Z's label for like 10 years now, and this is like his first album. Uh, so so he puts out this album, A Written Testimony. Um, and I got to tell y'all, man, I'm kind of impressed with this. This is a really good album. I was, I was not let down. I was not disappointed. Like it's worth the wait if you haven't heard it yet. Like I said, it just dropped. Like I think it just dropped yesterday, yeah, the 13th. So yeah, it just dropped yesterday. And the funny thing was, I was going to the store to buy me some wine, and I put up my I was gonna listen to music while I was walking, and I happened to pull up my Spotify, and it was bam, it was right there. It was like Jay Electronica's new album, A Written Testimony. Is I was like, you gotta be kidding me, right? Man, like I never thought this was coming out, and I was excited when I saw. I was like, man, I gotta listen to that when I get in the house. Um, and I gotta tell you, man, it's a really good album. But this album is really dope because the thing with the album is that it has like a somber like production to it. There's like I think there was one banger on here. Um, it was one banger, and I think it was the Ghost of Soldier Slim. I think that was it. So there's only like I said, it's a 40-minute album. It's 10 songs, so it's a pretty reasonable length. It's pretty nice. So now, like I said, it didn't disappoint me, man. There's a lot of good songs on here. I want to pull out my favorites on here. And I said, I don't really break down the tracks too much. But yeah, man, my favorites on here is so the Ghost of Soldier Slim. The way it opens up is pretty good. I like the overwhelming event because there's like a lot of gems and knowledge and stuff like that. You got the Blinding featuring Travis Scott, which I was a little weird on that one too because I didn't really hear Travis Scott on here, so I don't know if maybe he produced the beat or something like that. I don't know. I've heard this album a few times now, and I didn't hear Travis Scott on that track at all. Um, and another thing too, man. This I'm really surprised at the track listing because Jay Z's name is no nowhere on this track listing, but he's in like every song. Yeah, this should have been like a. This is like a. Yeah, so going in, don't think it's just a Jay Electronica album. This is a Jay Electronica and Jay Z album because and Jay Z dropped some bars on here too. Like whoo, there's some crazy lines on here. I'm gonna pull up Genius because there were some. I don't remember all the lines on here, but I know for a fact that I know like they were dropping some stuff on here that had me going like, wow, that was nice. Um, so testimony. So okay, I'm just gonna find out. Wow, that's Beyonce's pool on the cover of Jay Electronica's album. They put Beyonce's pool on there. So yes, because I know he's been dropping a lot of stuff. Okay, wow, they said 11 years. I said 10. 11 years. That is insane to be waiting for an album, man. I like if he drops another one. I really hope he doesn't take forever to. He doesn't take another 11 years to drop an album. I'll be 46 by the time this man's next album comes out. So this man was talking about an album when I was in my mid 20s, and I've been waiting on Jay Electronica to drop an album since my mid 20s. I'm in my mid 30s now, so so it's been a minute. But yeah, man, like it's some dope stuff on here, man. The lyrics are nice. Um, I really liked. There was a lyric on the track. You know what? On the track, flux capacitor, where Jay Z was talking about. And this is why I don't ever cover stuff like this on my channel. You know, people's deaths and stuff like that. You know, he even says it on there. He says like, you know, if I die, you know, don't make a video about it or don't post it up on social media or nothing like that. So I thought that was really cool because I just feel weird about doing stuff like that. I don't like to put people's deaths and stuff up there for views. So I thought that was pretty cool that he brought that up in the that was definitely in the song Flux Capacitor because I just remember that line sticking out to me so bad. Um, but yeah, man, this is 10 tracks just of Jay Z and Jay Electronica just spitting knowledge, man. Uh, Let me go to one of my favorite songs. My favorite. Oh wait, oh wait. So my favorite song on here. One of my favorite songs on here was the Never Ending Story. That beat, it's like this slow, like melodic, like beat that twinkles the dun, 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 dun. Like that was hard. Um, so yeah, there is a line that he said on here too, where he said, "My debut album featured Hove, man. This is highway robbery." It's so many dope lines on here. I'm gonna go to Never Ending Story, like I said, because there was that's the one I had on repeat, and there were some really good lines on there too. Um, all right, I like this line here where he says, "With in Never Ending Story, he says, with the master's grip to pull the sleeping giant out the ditch, and I ain't even have to wiggle my nose like bewitched." So of course he's referencing the TV show in the '60s, Bewitched, where the chick she had like witch powers, and she's like wiggling her nose, and then that's how the stuff would get going. Um, so let's see here. So that was kind of cool. And then he said, so let's pull the slippery giant out of the ditch. I have to wiggle my nose like Bewitched. That was cool. I like that. Um, Yeah, he said, okay, there's another one here too where he said, if you want to be a master in life, you must submit to a master. I was born to lock horns of the devil at the brink of the hereafter. So there's just this like him getting like his bragging stuff. Basically, he's kind of bragging. He's basically telling you like how potent his stuff is, how potent his flow is. Because Jay Electronica, man, this dude is something special for real. Um, like this dude just spits some of the hardest bars I've ever heard. Um, what was the one he did on another track too, where he said, it was another track on here where he was talking about I think it was one of the last songs too on here. It was I think it was Ezekiel's will, I believe, where he says yeah, Ezekiel's will, where he talks about like uh he was sitting down with um he was sitting down with P Diddy, and Diddy was telling him, screw all that underground stuff, man. Just make an album so you can get a Grammy. Basically showing the world like don't just hide your gift from people. Like put it out there and do it for not, and don't just do it for yourself. Do it for your family. And I can relate to that as a creative person myself. I'm trying to get myself out there too, so that way I can provide for my family. I used to like be like that too, where I was like, man, I don't really care for the money. It's just for the love of the art. And then as I've got older now, I'm starting to see now that, yeah, you have to do certain things for other people. You got to do stuff for your family too. You can't just be selfish and think about yourself. Um, so man, it is a lot of knowledge in this album. There's so many gems, dude. It's crazy. Yeah, you can tell I'm happy for this album, man. This is a really good album. Uh, I think the only song there was actually a song on here I did not like though. This album wasn't perfect. Like I said, I like every song on here pretty much. The only song I didn't like was Flux Capacitor. I know I know I named a couple good bars from there, but the thing about Flux Capacitor I didn't personally like was the hook and just the way Jay Z and Jay was rapping over that beat. Um, and like I said, there's some good bars in it, but I thought the hook was kind of weak. Um, and just the way the beat was kind of all over the place to me on that one. But other than that, yeah, this is a solid debut album from Jay Electronica, man. This is a high recommend. Listen to this album, y'all, for real. You will not, especially if you're like, if you've been looking for a Jay Electronica project, you're not going to be disappointed. This is a really good album. Um, yeah, yeah. Please, and my thing to Jay Electronica, man, please, Jay Electricity, do not, do not have us waiting for over a decade for the next album. You know, if you need a year, you say you recorded for 40 days. Okay, so peep game, like just do like don't even just do something for 40 days. Give yourself a little time off because your new album is out. Celebrate and promote that, and then just start working on your next one, man. Because you took a while to release this, and this is your debut album. We got like I said on the thing, we got 11 years worth of mixtapes from you, and no album. And now we're getting an album because we got the mixtapes. And we're like, man, this dude can really rap. Like you're a talented dude. Like you're really gifted, man. Like you're like one of the hottest rappers out there. So don't sit here and waste all this time making the next album. Bring out the next one soon. I don't even care if it takes you 2 years max. 3 years, I'll give you even 3 years, man. But please give us another album, man. This is fire right here. This is 10 tracks. This is 40 minutes worth of fire, man. You gotta give us another one. You can't leave us hanging, bro. So, A Written Testimony. It's out now. Check it out. Amazing album. Aside from the one track that I didn't like as much, but even still, the album flows together really well. Like I said, it's not just Jay Electronica on here. It's Jay Electronica and Jay-Z. But, hey, we got a Jay Electronica album, man. So, again, this is your boy, old school hip-hop head, coming at you. Like, comment, subscribe on this video. See you in the next one. Peace.